Hey y'all, so this is my wrap up for Dewey's 24-hour readathon. So I actually didn't start at the start time for the readathon, which my local time would have been 5 a.m. I actually started a few hours later. I was actually up at that time and then just decided to go back to bed and did not bother picking up a book. I was too tired. I'll be honest, I was too tired. I wasn't getting up at that time. And then Saturday morning I had quite a few errands to run, so I actually ended up plugging in the audiobook for The Last Magician, which from previous videos, this was my big book of the month for March, which I actually ended up starting late in March because my original one that I picked I couldn't get into as well. It wasn't one that I wanted to continue on for that challenge. I have continued on with The Court of Broken Knives, and it's gotten a lot better, especially the audiobook for that's been my saving grace, but I didn't do any of that for the readathon. So there was about 4.5 hours in audio for The Last Magician that I finished off that book with. Then I picked up Grace and Fury, which is 310 pages. This one's by Tracy Banggood. This one was an okay read. It didn't bring anything new to the table. It didn't rewrite old stories in new ways or anything. It was, if you're looking for a book that, you know, you could just turn your mind off with and still enjoy it, had a good enough story to enjoy, you know, that's kind of one for you. If you're looking for an old story retold or anything like that, it's not, I enjoyed it, but it was like a 2-star read for me. It was one of those that it was enough to keep my interest, but not enough I will ever reread it again or continue on with any series. Then I tried, once again, Given to the Sea. I have had problems with this book. I don't know what it is. I find the story boring. I find the characters boring. I've picked it up several times, and I keep putting it down. I get like 40 pages in, and I'm like, yep, this is boring. I'm done. So I tried it again. This was the last attempt I was going to give it before I just donated it, gave it to my local library. I don't have patience to fight my way through books I'm not enjoying. So that one, I'm not even going to consider that. I think I read like 30 pages. Again, I'm not even going to consider that part of the readathon totals, but it was a book I picked up, so I included it in here. And then the last book I picked up for the readathon was The Waking Land by Callie Bates. My hard copies, actually. The actual book, this is just the dust cover. The actual book is somewhere in my house. I put it down and I can't find it, but I did find the dust cover. I got about 150 pages into that. That was another one over the last several months. I have picked it up, put it down numerous times, and then I was considering just donating it off to the library, but then when I restarted it and reread it for the readathon, I actually got more into the story, and it's got my interest now, and I'm finding it incredibly entertaining. It's a little bit of a thinker one so far. There's like, I don't know if it's one kingdom with different provinces or if it's separate kingdoms. It's not been very clear on that, but there's this, there was this king, it opens up where there is a lord, or they call him the kingmaker. He tried to put a different king on the throne when an old king died, because the heir that was originally to go on the throne he didn't support, and he tried to lead a rebellion, but that rebellion failed. That's the prologue, and then the story picks up with his daughter, who was taken hostage by the side of the king, the heir that won the throne when he crushed the rebellion. And now that king has died and his protections are gone. So now this girl is facing the fury and the hatred of the court and the princess, who's now queen, and she's been framed for this king's murder. And so anyway, that's kind of where that story has gone so far. And everything is not quite what it seems. There's been some hinting that there might be more going on behind the scenes than any of the characters have realized. You know, it seems like maybe this rebellion that her father tried to start off with, you know, like 15 years previously, isn't as defeated or as dead as was assumed. She's definitely got some earth magic, which she's kind of woken up, and she's kind of using it. So now she's trying to figure out, like, who am I really? You know, am I just this lordling's daughter? Am I this pawn? You know, was I this, you know, indentured servant? You know, or am I this magician? But then I guess magic's outlawed, and it's right now there's just been a lot of information just being dumped, and which I don't particularly like with the way the story's written. But I'm at a part now, about 150 pages in, that it's starting to streamline out a little bit, so it's not like all these little bits and pieces getting thrown at you that just are like a jigsaw puzzle that you're like, what? I thought we were doing this thing, why are we now doing this thing? So yeah, I'll probably be definitely be continuing on with this one, at least for a while anyway. So in total, I believe I calculated out the pages to be about 460 pages. Grace and Fury, it was 310 pages, and then I've read 150 of The Waking Land. So that is the end of that wrap-up. Bye-bye.